That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
No tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
Fairly alarmed here.
Welcome to MOTN Reviews. This is Masters of the Nerdiverse Reviews, where we take a look at some of cinema's most shiniest supernovas and some that are not so brightly lit. This turtle van of a podcast can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeart, Google Play, and Spotify. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G. And back on the podcast is the man himself. He does guarantee Ozzy Austin.
Oh boy, it's real good to be back here, kids. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get down to the sewers of the muck where I live.
The muck man. You sound like Leatherhead, dude, from Turtles lore, dog. Leatherhead.
There's a lot of Turtles lore out there, that's kind of a little off-putting, you know what I mean?
It's a lot of Turtles lore, dog. There's too much.
The trans-dimensional traveling is a little, daunting in the face of this freaking movie we watched today.
This movie kind of tears all that away, doesn't it?
This movie's like, oh, hey, here's some vigilante justice. And in, the freaking comics and animated series, it's like, travel the universe and save us from Earthrealm.
Save us from Krang and his Terradrome. Tears all that crap away, dude. All that stuff doesn't exist.
Remember that time that Splinter and all the turtles were actually just a bunch of Japanese samurai who got reincarnated?
Yeah. Kevin Eastman. You know.
Remember that time there was a female turtle and they powered up the Power Rangers?
Yeah. If you listen to Milo.
That was
something. Speaking of which.
Weird, scaly moment right there.
That's the scaliest moment, dude. Oh, geez, I was going to say something gnarly. Let's go into what we're talking about.
Turtle tits into anything kids-oriented. It gets scaly and weird right away.
Oh, no. You know the snake, amphibian or reptile of the female gender have to have it, dog. It's a comic book / anime / cartoon eventuality, dog. We have no say in such matters. No say.
All that good space for the eggs.
All the, for the gestation.
Oh, God, I just made myself shiver.
It's going to be that kind of episode, guys. We're reviewing 1990's own, directed by Steve Barrow, Teenage-Mutant-Ninja Turtles, dude.
So for reference, this movie came up before I was sentient. A glimmer in my father's eye. But this movie shaped a lot of the frickin' 90s.
This movie is my life, Doug. This movie is just Mike G, dude. There was a time on the Earth when the Ninja Turtles were legit the most powerful beings on the planet. It's in that weird space between Michael Jackson and Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Where it's
that's one way to put it, because it's
it's just raw popularity. The Turtles were everywhere, dude. You couldn't escape it. You had the video games, which are so many I just love. You have the cartoons, the comics, the toys, the commercials, man.
God, I remember
the tours.
Yeah, exactly. I remember getting a shot as a kid. I was 5 years old. And my dad said, if you don't cry, we'll go get a Ninja Turtles figure after all this.
Yep.
And I got mine. I got my freaking figure. It was great.
Dude, I remember as a kid, when the Gen 1 Ninja Turtle toys, everyone had to get their favorite turtle, right? Because no one can afford just having all 4 of them, man. You know what I mean? Who has the money for that? Your parents aren't going to do that. So you figure out your favorite real early in life. You stick with that favorite and will kill for them for the rest of your life, dude. So everyone has their definitive favorite turtle, and everyone is bloody, will fight you to the death in the honor of their turtle.
God, I feel like the Ninja Turtles opened so many weird doors. I'm pretty certain the Ninja Turtle series opened the door to freaking Street Sharks, which is the most 90s concept out of any kid's show I can imagine.
The Ninja Turtles opened all, dog. It opened Power Rangers and the color-coordinated heroes and villains, dog.
Oh, that's very true. Sabat's Power Rangers, yeah.
Thank you for the correction. I don't want to get sued. You know what I'm saying? The Ninja Turtles opened so many weird doors. Like you said, the Street Sharks. and the Mighty Ducks, Gargoyles, pretty much all of Disney's teen initiative was kind of initiated by 1980s, 1990s. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles arcade game was one of the first games you could play with 4 people. And you would literally put kids in headlocks because they were locked on your turtle. It was like, no, you get off, Michelangelo. He's like, no, he's my favorite though. And the kid's just gonna get choked out because you're gonna play as your turtle, man. You
know what? I was watching this movie today, and you know what? Really obscure 1990s movie. This film just like projected straight into my deep subconscious. Warriors of Virtue. You ever hear that one?
Yes, Warriors of Virtue with the kangaroo men, dog.
What in the living hell was that movie?
There was a weird kangaroo boom in like the 90s, 2000s. Remember Tank Girl, dog? Ice-T was
Kangaroo Jack.
Kangaroo Jack. There was a weird kangaroo like initiative back in the day, dude. What was that about?
It was a little scary, honestly. I didn't want to go down to Australia.
Warriors of Virtue. Speaking of the Warriors of Virtue, and this is a good segue into kind of what really stuck with this movie for me, like my memories, is that the costumes are so god tier, dude. Like as a kid, I thought they were real. I thought like, okay, I'm in California. The Ninja Turtles are living in New York right now, doing their thing, and they just happened. It was like a documentary. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a documentary when I was a little kid, dude. Like you couldn't convince me otherwise.
Well, I will say it's weird how limber those actors could really get in those costumes. Like they actually do flips and kicks and whatnot. It's like that's weird. But
yeah, trained martial artists under the suits. All the voices were done. Was done in post. Yeah. In post. So in the suits were just so well done that the most technical thing about it was the face. So any shot where the face didn't have to move, they were just jumping around, flipping, doing actual acrobatics in these suits, man.
Oh yeah.
Which made it, you know what I mean? And before CG,
there's just so much. Like you could tell the difference between the suit people that were the Ninja Turtles and then the animatronic that was Splinter. Sorry.
Yeah, 100%. Because we weren't there yet, unless they wanted to get some weird like the body double for like the creature in Wreck. You want to get some real like super skinny like a contortionist or something. But yeah, it was night and day. Like Splinter wasn't the greatest. Splinter doesn't age well in none of the Turtles movies. Now that I think about it, Splinter is hard to good looking right, man.
I mean, there's some in this movie that doesn't age very well in the first place, to be frank. But
a lot. I'm not gonna. This is no perfect movie. I make no allusions to that. But you can't tell me anything. Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, but I will say, out of the 3 that came out, I would put number 2 right above this one, just because it's more crazy, but in a good way.
Yes, I mean the Turtles trilogy is awesome. Even 3 is not the best. It goes, in my opinion, it goes 2, 1, 3, 100%.
I back you down. I back you on that.
Because I love 2, like Secret of the Ooze. The only reason I wanted to do this one is because I haven't seen this one in a long time. You know what I mean? And this movie, funny enough, is way more thoughtful and more kind of focused than 2 or 3. They have things to say in this movie. Funny enough, you know what I mean? There's themes and serious dramatic beats, man. In this movie about giant mutant turtles, dude.
It's really amazing seeing how much is in there, honestly. Just, oh my God.
Dude, like, I know for this podcast, we're no longer kind of doing beat for beat. We're just kind of giving our general impressions and moments that we really love. But I just love everything about this movie. I love its playfulness. I love its attitude. I love when it's serious. I love the supporting cast. I love April O'Neil. She brings a lot to the movie. She grounds it, when things are kind of a little too fantastical, but it also makes the Turtles look even more real because she's in the shot with them. You know what I mean?
But here, why the Turtles so horny for April?
Because April is the hottest and the most beautiful and the smartest, and she can't be defeated. It's April O'Neil, man. It's April, dude.
But they're turtles. They shouldn't be this horny.
They're not. There's only a couple of them that are super on April O'Neil, and that's Raph and Mikey. Leonardo and Donatello couldn't be bothered, man. Couldn't be bothered, Doug.
I know, and they're decent because of that, but they're just like, oh, I'm gonna breed outside of my species, gonna use my
Dude, what species? There's no other like turtle. Venus de Milo's not exist yet. You know,
how did Venus de Milo? No, we're not going there.
We're not going there because that's a whole lot of mukbang and that's a whole lot of vor that we could just walk down.
This. I am trying to literally filter myself 90% because this movie made me both happy and just insane watching it at the same time.
I love it. I love that we're coming from different places on this movie where you're coming from it like, oh man, this is kind of hokey. This is kind of outdated. And I'm just 5 years old again watching the Ninja Turtles with Leonardo in my hand, just geeking out, quoting the lines. You know what I mean? I'm totally bought in.
For me, that was Power Rangers. I figured we could totally.
Oh yeah, that's another MOTN reviews right there. The Power Rangers movie. Oh jeez.
Oh,
with the CG Megazords, Doug. With the CG Megazords.
And Ivan Ooze, like it just basically takes someone's over body.
Man, Ivan Ooze pretty much the first plug, as the kids would say. You know, Ivan Ooze was super the plug, Doug. But let's talk about this movie, man. Let's talk about
definitely.
Let's talk about the setting. Let's talk about New York City. And this isn't like happy, gentrified New York City. This is like 80s Death Wish New York City. Where New York was super dangerous stuff.
It's really rough, Nick. It's really rough. People are kind of going, yeah, my stuff's stolen. What the heck's going on over here? I'm a hardworking New Yorker. I don't tell people to go die in the street. I'm a New Yorker.
It's weird, but I was getting like Joker vibes from this movie, dude.
Wow.
Like weird, like I was getting like weird Death Wish, like Joaquin Phoenix Joker vibes of like how nutty the city is, and like it's just this crime haven that's going on, you know. But it's crazy.
It's so ridiculous because like it's a bunch of like 90s kids in the most 90s stereotypical garb. You know what I mean? Like like you go to a dictionary, you look up 90s punk, and that punk is now living on the screen. That's what is this movie. And it's not that bad. It's like, okay, I can get behind this. It's a little fun. This is really enjoyable. And then you show the foot ninjas in the van.
Let's talk about
give me some candy, kids. It's like,
hey,
what?
Hey, give me that stereo. Hey.
Why
give me that stereo?
Why do the foot have bug eyes? As just wire.
That is a comic book thing. That's how they were designed. That is them staying true to the source material, my man. That's another thing I like about this movie, is that they stay true to the source material. Even April O'Neil, when you first see her, she's wearing this giant bright yellow jacket, which is a callback to the cartoon. And I'm like, yo, I caught that tonight. But let's talk about the Foot Clan, dude. Let's just talk about the Foot Clan for a second.
Okay. The Foot Clan is
There's
just
a
bunch
lot to unpack.
It's a bunch of chain-smoking, chain-drinking 12-year-olds
the first
who start fist fights in the back club going, I'm going to fucking kick you, man.
I'm going to kick you with my ninja kicks. You know, it's like, the first shot you give the Foot Clan is this like 10-year-old with a cigar in his mouth. It's like, what?
My God,
a real cigar, dog.
Too. That's like a Cuban dog. That's a Cuban cigar.
This kid has a Cuban.
Gonna get lung cancer by the time he turns 15.
That was real. I will bet money that's real smoke. People smoking a cigar in real life.
It's a different time.
Different times, dude. And they paint the Foot Clan because in the comics they're legit ninjas, right? And in the cartoon they're robots. Right? So you can just break them up. But here, it makes so much sense. It's like, we're just going to get a bunch of, pardon my French, shithead street kids, street toughs, and just give them Wonderland, right? Give them a place where they could do whatever the hell they want.
It really is Wonderland. It's just like, oh, what do kids like? They like skateboards,
and graffiti, and video games, and pizza. And they can do whatever they want. You got some smokes? You want menthol or regular, dude?
So who's that kid that, like, obvious a 25-plus-year-old adult and the kids hang out, who's like got the wife beater on?
Funny enough,
who is that guy?
That is Sam Rockwell, dude.
I goddamn knew it.
Sam Rockwell from Moon, from Iron Man 2, from recently, what's that movie? Something Rabbit with it won an Academy Award. Jojo Rabbit. It's that guy as a pseudo kid.
God, I know this child. Man. I know this man offering cigarettes to a 12-year-old right now, but where do I know this man from?
It's super, like, I was going to review a movie called Little Monsters with Howie Mandel. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Where you go to this place where you're a kid, and you don't have to listen to your dad or mom, man. You can go do whatever you want. you know, because there's no rules here. And the Foot are literally just like, there's only like 3 legit Foot Clan members, and everybody else is just kids learning crappy karate and just cannon fodder.
There's second ground character Master Tatsu, and he barely talks, which is
go
fantastic.
Play, you know, like there's only like 3 dudes came from Japan, and they were like, all right, this is the deal. We're just gonna ransack every orphanage. We're gonna ransack every group home. We're gonna get all these idiot kids. We're gonna tell them whatever they want to hear, so they could steal stuff for us and create this crime empire.
We're gonna go assault some police officers. What should we do?
Get the children drunk, then
drink
make them
the
fight.
children. They make them fight. And give them pizza and narc. There was a narc arcade machine in this game, dude.
Oh my god, there was.
I was
and
like,
the worst part of it all is like Shredder baseline just wants to be called Daddy.
Shredder
wants people to call him Daddy.
Shredder has big family issues throughout this movie because he imprints on all these children. They don't imprint on him. They're like, all right, dude, whatever. I am your father.
Exactly.
This is your family, and I am your father.
Okay, since we're here, let's talk about the Shredder, dog. The Shredder. Mato Yoshi, dog.
Okay, so it's not the worst, honestly. Like, I will say this much. It's a really good baseline Shredder. And it gets improved upon in the sequel.
It's the best on-screen Shredder we're ever going to get, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
You're right.
Ever, dude. Because he doesn't need to do much, man. He needs to stand there and look cool. He needs to sound like Dr. Claw. And he just needs to look like the Shredder. And he looks just, no matter how campy or hokey it is, in his, like, Velveteen Dream t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? And the, you know, the shoulder pads with the spikes. I was like, that Shredder? The mask was perfect. I wish I had a replica of that. I would kill him.
Honestly, it was a pretty solid getup as a whole for that character. Honestly,
yeah, he had the cape and everything. He was just Shredder, dude. It was perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, I will say this much. Knowing how this movie was, all 4 characters, the Ninja Turtles, are actually done really, really well. Their voices are on par with what you expect, and as well as their personalities, how they act and whatnot. Raphael is the brooding kind of emo brother in a way.
Yep.
And all 100%. The others are just pretty balanced. I mean, it is what it is. It balances.
And one thing that really stuck up with me with this movie is that it's, for how goofy it is, it's really grounded, dude. This is a very grounded take on something that's so fantastic. Like you said, every turtle has their own weird arc outside of like Michelangelo. You know what I mean? Like every turtle has a growth point, you know, that they have to learn a lesson from. They all have their own personalities and their own body language. It's so well done. That's why I thought they were real when I was a kid, man.
I mean, Donatello and Mikey, all they do is just crack jokes the entire time. That's what they're there for.
It is honestly the Raphael show. The movie's about the growth of Raphael, kind of. Yeah, and even the growth of Leo to an extent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like, Raphael isn't like the best brother. It's Mikey.
Well, Mikey is the most faithful. Raphael is the most... Mikey's the most, I would say... I don't know how to. It's funny that you mentioned that, like how to define them in that way. I would say Raphael's not the most loyal because he's super ready to just run out and just do whatever he wants to do. But Mikey is the most loyal, I would say. Like he doesn't run from a fight no matter how goofy it is. But like they all have this weird arc where Leo kind of learns leadership through adversity, and Raphael learns teamwork through failure. You know what I mean?
And Donatello learned shit talking from Casey.
Because I like when Casey called him Zipperhead, and that made me think, oh, he made fun of the costume. You know, he snuck that in.
That's actually pretty good. I didn't think about that.
I was like, word. They're probably ad-libbing too, which makes it even funnier.
Jesus, yeah.
Man, the Turtles, they were just so well done, and they got to use their weapons, and through the movie, you don't really notice, like, because literally Raphael and Leonardo are the most skilled, so they get to use the death weapons. Right? They get to use the weapons that can actually kill people, but they have to be kind of tame with, if you think about it, right? Like they're the most skilled. So they get to use weapons that can actually kill people. Like, okay, Donatello, you don't fight that well. Here's a stick. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to kill yourself wielding that. All right, Michelangelo, you're not paying attention. Here's some nunchaku. Just don't hit yourself in the groin, you know? But it's like, okay, Leonardo, you're the only one who really shows interest, and you're the most skilled. Here are these 2 katanas. You know, don't hurt many people. And through the whole movie, you're kind of like, okay, they're not killing anyone. These weapons have no real effect. But then Leonardo cuts Shredder on his arm. Like, oh yeah, they're actually sharp, right? Like, Like it takes great skill to not murder anyone with those things swinging them around like that.
I mean, there is that, and the fact that, I mean, every weapon is like
deadly to an extent, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I guess, but you know, it's just I just really love the pace of this movie. I love how there's not a lot of action in this. Now that I think about it,
a lot of jokes, which I don't mind.
It's a lot of like action point reprieve, where you get a moment where you see the turtles in action for a brief moment. They get to show how much of cartoonishly ninja they are. You know, like the scene where April's boss comes in, they just literally disappear in 2 seconds. But then they ground it because they're in actual spots of the house. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, they just didn't disappear. They're just really good at stealth because they're, 4 or 5 foot, human super turtles. I have a question for you, Austin. I want your opinion on it.
Go.
Do the Ninja Turtles have super strength?
Nah, they just have really good coordination and dexterity, not strength.
Not strength, right? Like a Ninja Turtle can punch through a brick wall, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Like that's like I have a couple of like nerd cartoon questions I've never gotten true answers to. Like, how powerful are the Power Rangers?
Okay, so the Power Rangers are weird because they literally power up like RPG characters where their armor and weapons give them bonus powers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, could a Power Ranger lift a car?
It's weird because, oh god, how do I put this?
This is like a suit. I've never gotten a real answer from this. Like, do the suits just protect them and they have normal strength? But then again, they're jumping 3 stories tall into a Megazord.
All right, so two things that
there has to be a balance. Like, I don't know.
Two things that stick out to me is like in Power Rangers Wild Force, there's a guy who literally talks to animals because he was basically grew up like an animal. He's a Red Ranger. He's a weirdo. He's fucking weird. No one likes him that much.
No one likes him.
But then in Power Rangers in Space, one of the characters has telepathy and telekinetic powers, but he's there by mistake essentially. So he's got actual extra human powers, and I don't know how that really happened, but it blew little 12-year-old Austin's mind back in the day. Like, that guy's using his powers to open a car door with his mind. And his friends break into the door. Wait, why is he breaking into the door? That doesn't make any sense. He's a ranger. Oh, he's being tricked. Yeah.
It super bothers me because it's like, what is how Spider-Man has the proportional strength to a spider? So Spider-Man can pretty much punch through anything. Secretly, Spider-Man's ultra strong. He just doesn't really use it like that.
He always holds back because Otto Octavius took over his body one time, didn't hold back, and he punched the Scorpion's head off. Clean.
Yeah, he just literally like Kano punched a guy in the heart. Like, oh, Spider-Man's really just strong, huh? I guess so. So it's like, what is the proportionate strength of a turtle? Nothing? Like negative points?
I guess they're just common. They have a big shell that's really hard to kill.
Or is it like, are turtles like sloths where they're secretly ultra strong?
I'm just going to say that they have the best possible defense ever. Their superpower is they're basically bulletproof.
I would think that they have like Captain America level strength, dexterity. Like they're perfectly balanced. Right?
So it's like the most possible limit that they could have, essentially.
They're at the possible peak of human perfection when it comes to like strength, speed, balance, and it fluctuates between how much they care about the fight, because the Ninja Turtles don't really fight seriously ever, right? They're all goofing around, but they're just winning effortlessly, like Dante from Devil May Cry. Like the Ninja Turtles never fight seriously. That's a good thing because the movie doesn't take itself seriously when you have product placements everywhere, kind of like Domino's Pizza, Burger King, Whoppers, Critters movie. The Critters. He's like, how do you make this stuff up?
It's like, is that like an inside joke for the studio? Did they make Critters as well? I'm kind of curious.
I'm kind of curious about the background of that. Another thing that was cool about this movie as a kid was that there was cursing. Raphael was cursing all over the. Damn! And I was thinking, like, is Raphael empathic? Does he have high sensory emotions? Because he's very melodramatic in this movie.
I think he's the most.
He's melodramatic through the whole series.
I think he's the most sensitive of his brothers towards other people's emotions. I think he's like the most introspective. And that's why he's always so angry.
That's why he's always so angry, and that's why he's always so passionate about everything. Like, I think Raphael is the most insightful. That's why Splinter had to sit him down and be like, "Look, man, you got a little bit of a temper on you, and I've been trying literally since you were born to figure it out. you're not helping me out, man. You need to chill. You know, Raphael's like, whatever, I'm gonna pout and dress up like Cagney and Lacey.
Exactly. I will say the funniest moment for me in this entire movie was unintentional. It's whenever Raphael gets beat to hell and they're arresting him at a farmhouse off the city. And he's, instead of a bed, he's in a freaking bathtub.
Let's talk about the farm, dude. So
he's just in a bathtub, like, oh, I'm drunk, guys. So I get some 5 days.
The bed was taken, man. You know, April O'Neil had to have a bed, and Casey Jones needed a bed, dog. That's it. 2 beds. Dog.
Oh, man. Humans suck.
Humans are so insensitive. So they're off the cusp of this giant battle where Raphael pretty much fights a horde of Foot Clan by himself before the fight even starts, right? They escape with the skin of their teeth. Raphael's in a coma, pretty much. And they go to this farmhouse in the middle of this children's action movie, and it has a completely retrospective moment. You know, they slow everything down. And they start going into these monologues about how the turtles deal with grief and how they deal with failure. It's like, what is happening right now?
It's like, oh, they don't have any pizza today. They cried. 5 streams of tears.
5 turtle tears. Leonardo doesn't leave Raphael's side where Donatello's found new friends. And me being an artist, I love when April was drawing the turtles. I was like, I want to draw that when I get home. I want to draw that now. I love that moment of the movie, you know?
Meanwhile, Casey's kind of going here like, hey, Toots! Classic sexism! You want to kiss my face? I'll suck on your neck!
I hate Casey Jones. There's 2 characters I hate in this movie. There's 2 characters. I hate Casey Jones because he's just the typical, you know, like you said, some things didn't age well, and one of them's Casey Jones.
Casey Jones does better in the comics and in the cartoons when he's more modernized because, man, he's got that really weird, like, brutally masculine sexism going on. Brutally
sexist, you know, kind of like women are objects kind of thing. Hey, Toots, sweetie, princess. Sweet cheeks. And April's not having any of it, dog. But she gives in eventually. So it's like, what the hell? What does that teach people, man?
It teaches that if you hate somebody enough, you will eventually want to make babies with them.
If you are tsundere to a point of exhaustion, eventually it caves. Eventually tsundere caves,
this is god-awful relationship advice.
Eventually, if you work at it for decades, it will cave.
That's like telling a couple, like, hey, you want to have a saved marriage? Go have a kid.
Oh, man, because that saves marriages.
Anyway.
The only other character I legit hate in this movie is Danny. He
serves no purpose.
The conflicted self-insert of this damn movie. Danny is the worst because
Danny is supposed to be the older brother's insert who are there at the movie theater taking their kid brothers to watch Ninja Turtles
and don't want to be there.
And that's why he is there, because he is the self-insert to rebellious teenage angstum of the 90s.
Danny should have been, and this is rough, Danny should have made it out the end of this movie. Someone should have got Danny, Doug.
Oh, man, if Danny got shot in the back, that would have been so hilarious.
Or just a random sigh, or falling off a cliff. Danny's the worst, because Danny is the most flip-floppy character in this entire movie. His dad, yes, his dad's overbearing. But all these other kids literally are orphans and have nowhere to go. And Danny's like hopping out of his dad's car in the middle. Who drives in New York, first of all? You know, like...
Someone with money, apparently.
People with money, you know, and Danny is just this... He leads, first of all, he leads the Foot to the Turtles to kidnap Splinter. He gets Splinter tortured for, what, a week? It was like raw torture?
Yeah.
It's not minced words. They were torturing Splinter up in there, dude.
It's like the torture you experience when you see the flashback of explaining the Turtles' background for the first time, and
then a second time, and then
a little puppet turtle goes radical.
I love it. Shut up. That's the best. I love the flashback, and I love when the turtles
it's nightmarish in every way.
I love when the turtles inject themselves into the flashback, and they're like in the black background, and they're just talking mess, and Splinter's like, "Shut up."
Okay, that's actually really good. That's actual comedy. That's really good stuff. But seeing freaky rat Splinter moving in his cage like a weird kung fu freak is like, man, that rat's gotta die.
Nah, that rat. You're telling me if your dog was watching you and started emulating your moves, you wouldn't keep it around because that's rad?
I'd start taking more acid to see what happens next.
Can you imagine? You're drinking a cup of coffee, your dog's trying to pick a coffee mug up with his paws.
I'd be like, oh shit.
Oh shit.
Oh god, this medication's too much.
Oh no. What did they put in this Dramamine? You know what I'm saying? Freaking Danny's.
Oh god. Oh, the corona's here. The corona's here.
Oh, Elizabeth, the corona's taking me over. We're dating this episode. Yeah.
You think?
Danny's the worst, man. Dan.
Oh, yeah.
But then he has the audacity to be like, his dad sees him at the end of the movie, he's like, call me Dan now, because I'm a man. I've learned so much.
You cannot trust gingers.
Shut up. Ooh. Raphael is technically a ginger, dog.
He's green. He doesn't count.
He wears their colors.
Man, this is getting weirdly racist.
You need to stop. Mr. Man. Oh, we're talking about the loving Ninja Turtles and how awesome they are and how cool this movie is and how
Okay, quick shout out though. Splinter got he got killed real greatly. He got killed real good.
You talking about Shredder?
Yeah, he got killed like a freaking oh my god.
Shredder
he got killed like an aluminum can.
I wasn't expecting that. Like Shredder literally got Mortal Kombat fatality. Dude, he got a stage fatal. You know what I'm saying?
Just deliberately just murdered a man.
Casey and Splinter did I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you. He did a Batman Begins on him.
He did, and honestly, Splinter has the highest kill count out of anyone in the Ninja Turtles.
Splinter is just not playing, dog. You understand that Splinter has no time for games, dog? The turtles are all having fun eating pizza. Splinter is counting up bodies, dog. Under all that fur, it's a teardrop right next to his eye, dog.
Oh my god! I mean, there's a lot of things in Splinter's fur by the end of the movie. I think a lot of it's blood.
Legit. Casey Jones killed Splinter. Killed Shredder, dog.
Oh my
he was
god,
like, oops, and he pulled the trash compactor knowing it would cause death, dog.
This movie really does teach kids. Whenever you want to get rid of your problems, you murder them.
You murder it. You punch it, dude.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this movie is so great.
It. I love this movie, dude. It's the best. It's literally, it's so, has so much plot armor and like so much nostalgia armor. There's nothing wrong with this movie to me. I know it's deeply flawed. I know, but I can't allow myself to say truthfully that it's bad because it's the best movie ever.
I mean, little things here and there make it so fantastic. Like whenever a foot ninja tries to come up and attack Mikey from behind, he ducks his head into a shell, turns back and knocks the guy out and says, God, I love being a turtle.
It's the best, dude.
And it's actually, that's a good moment. That's a great moment.
They do moments from the comics. They do moments from the games. They do the shell shock where they take their shell and smash it against the dude. He's like, oh man, he must have got a shell shock. As a kid, I geeked out. I was like,
that
they did the thing. Yeah, you would die. The thing is, the Turtles are Captain America. Imagine 3 Captain Americas, or 4 rather, smashing their shells into you at the same time. You're just gonna explode.
Ooh, boy, that'd be some traumatic
fatality. You're gonna be crushed, dude. The Ninja Turtle. I'm convinced the Ninja Turtles have some level of super strength.
I could see it, but it's. There's also that thing where apparently the ooze that made the Turtles also was the ooze that made Daredevil. So
yeah, I love that, and that's why they call it the foot, because Daredevil fought the hand.
I never made that connection. Holy
crap. Man, the whole body's out there somewhere.
So I will say, like the connection between what the Ninja Turtles had for the source material, the comics, and mostly the cartoon, honestly. It's better than you get from other movies in the 90s with their source material, like Spawn.
It's the best.
Or The Mask.
The Ninja Turtles series is the most closest, outside of the stuff we get now, because everything's source material now, right? Everything's pretty close to the comic. But back then, that wasn't having it, man. It was Batman and it was Ninja Turtles and Superman were the closest things to the source material. Because back then, the directors didn't care. They just wanted the name. And they made whatever they wanted to make, like Steel and like Punisher and like all these horrible quote unquote superhero movies that had nothing to do with the source material.
I'll do anything you ever say to me, Mike. Just don't ever mention Steel again, please.
It's going to be MOTN reviews on the final day of the podcast when we're all in bunkers, like being chased by our new ant overlords. I'm going to record Steel before they knock the doors down, dog. That's the final. That is the final slash of the podcast, dude.
I'm gonna take a side my tablet and just bow out.
Yeah, me too. But at least I'll be able to get my outro out. Speaking of outros, man, you ready to rank this bad boy?
Oh boy. Okay. So if I had to make a scale of this, or a shell
of this, how many pizza slices, 0 to 5, would you rate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990?
So I'm gonna give the sound a solid 3 mushroom pizzas out of 5. I'm gonna give the acting a good 3.5, maybe 4 slices of pepperoni pizza, and I'm gonna give the hilarity of all a good 5 Hawaiian pizza slices out of 5 Hawaiian pineapple slices.
Dude, okay, I can't even talk about numbers when it comes to Ninja Turtles. Remember GamePro magazine? Remember GamePro magazine? Where the video game magazine, like Electronic Gaming Monthly GamePro, where you would talk about video games and stuff. There was a scale. They didn't scale video games in numbers. They scaled them in faces. And you would have like the sad face if it was a boring game, a kind of a smile when it was an okay game. But the highest rating was a picture of this character losing its mind, and it's just a red image of a face screaming at you. This game is you know, you have to find it, Austin. It's awesome. Look up the GamePro rating scale. That being said, I give Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990. I give it a red GamePro crazy man face out of faces. I love this movie is bulletproof to me. Like there were Ninja Turtle pies when I was a kid, like these moon pies with green gel in them, and if you ate them, you got temporary superpowers, dude.
Oh Jesus! It's like the Shrek green ketchup from the 2000s.
Dude, me and my friends would wear different colored sweaters because when we would play Ninja Turtles outside, we would pick our turtle. We would show up to school, and I would wear my blue sweater because I was Leonardo, and I'll grab 2 sticks off the tree and have my swords, and my buddy would wear his organ sweater because he was Michelangelo. In the 8th grade, would dress as Shredder, and we would just try to fight him, but he was too strong. I love the Ninja Turtles.
I used to throw firecrackers down to the sewer drain and felt the vibrations on my feet.
That works too. I was convinced that the Ninja Turtles were really in New York. I'm going to keep saying that because I legit thought it. I was like, yeah, they're out there. I'm in California.
You're saying that Pennywise would have gotten you by showing you a Ninja Turtle in the sewer.
100%. I would have went down. 100%. I'm done. If Pennywise showed up in the form of a Ninja Turtle and said, hey, dude, there's pizza down here, I'm already gone, dude. I'm already floating up in his weird little crevasse, Doug. I'm already floating. I'm floating, dude. Mikey back then, he showed up as Leonardo, dude. They said, dude, we got free pizza. And I could tell he has jarget teeth and Pennywise eyes. I'll think about it for a split second. Nope, I'm hanging out with the Ninja Turtles.
Oh boy, you are an easy man to target.
I just got to know the weight of my heart, man. If he showed up as anything else, I may have thought about it. Wait, Superman doesn't have jagged monster teeth. Who are you?
Bizarro!
Oh, Bizarro. But no, if he showed up as anything looking like a Ninja Turtle, I was good. Are you Slash? Are you Slash from the Ninja Turtles? Yes, I'm Slash, whatever. Come here. Sure. Slash, are you friends with the Ninja Turtles? He's like, stop asking me questions. Just come here. He's like, fine. Yeah, Mikey's missing. Whatever happened to him, all you see is empty inhalers that lead to a sewer drain, and that would be me.
Just a stream of empty inhalers.
Just a stream of empty inhalers leading to a sewer drain. That would have been me. 1993, dog, would have been over.
Oh God, what would 1995 me have been tempted with?
Yeah, what would tempt 1995 Austin to going into a sewer drain?
A lot of things. Probably Power Rangers or Pokemon, honestly, or maybe.
Dude, so Zordon showed up in a sewer drain. You would go see what Zordon was talking about?
Okay, so there'd have to, like, first of all, be a huge freaking sewer drain for Zordon.
Yeah, it's the weird movie Zordon where he's wearing that Dionne Warwick dress.
Oh God!
You know what I'm talking about? The movie Zordon when he's a regular dude. He's wearing like this weird like Liberace cloak. It's that Zordon. He's just down there, dude.
Yeah, just the old man in the bed who's dying.
The old man in the bed who's dying. He's like, Austin, I need you to help me find the power crystals.
Come, my racially diversified children, based on skin color and Power Rangers.
Palette colors and tone and temperament. Come to me in my basement.
Hey Zordon, why am I the Black Ranger? So don't worry about it. You belong there.
It was your station. You've always been the Black Ranger.
You are my little Mokolotto child.
Oh my God, we're moving on. That was it. That was it. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Better than like the one ranger who went to become a porn star.
Well, we all have to eat, don't we?
He ate dick.
Now I gotta make this explicit. I wanted to have kids listen to this.
No, just bleep that part out. Just bleep that part out. It's fine. No.
That's not the MOTN way.
Okay. Well, if I'd known that, I would have been really explicit. Like, why are these fucking turtles so cum hungry for April O'Neil?
We already explained that, man.
No, they're like
that.
sexualizing the TV. Like they're this close to just humping the freaking TV as they see her on it.
Okay, there's another thing I want to point out. The Ninja Turtles are like 13 in this movie. They're like 14, 15, right?
Yep.
They had the opening of this movie was their very first night out. This is not some, we've been Ninja Turtling it up for like 5 years. We're super masters at this. No, they didn't know what they were doing.
What's a teenage reptile even do? It's like, I don't have wet dreams. I just have,
what are turtles? I don't know. All I know is there's that one turtle that repopularized his entire bloodline, his entire species by himself. That's what the Ninja Turtles do.
I do know turtles mate by biting each other's neck. Like the male bites the female's neck.
That's fine. We do that too. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, apparently turtles also have penises the length of their entire bodies.
Well, there's
No.
Well,
you can't say anything to that.
Well, I can't. And on that note, where can we find you, Austin?
I mean, I guess you can find me on this shambling corpse of a podcast every once in a while.
Yeah.
Find me on Austin Aussie on Twitter and Twitch and whatnot eventually, sometimes, whenever we get over the Rona and get back to playing games again eventually.
And get back to having fun again, damn it.
Yeah, because it's actually surprisingly how busy you get after everyone wants to talk to you during the coronavirus pandemic.
Oh, yeah. We're all going to turn to turtles. If you want more of this beautifully deranged content, you can always go to our website, which is mastersofnerdiversecast.com, where you have an archive of all of our episodes dating back to the first episode where Michael was literally talking into the abyss. If you want to support us not monetarily, you can definitely do so through our Patreon, which is patreon.com/MOTN. And if you want to support us non-monetarily, you can always do so by liking our content, by subscribing to our channels, and by commenting on our episodes, because feedback is important. This is
hey guys.
Yeah.
Hey, if y'all pay money to the podcast, explicitly telling me to go do something, I will do it because I am a cheap whore of a man.
He will do it. Austin, I've seen him do weirder things, dude. You should have saw what he sent me for Christmas. It was amazing. But there was a secret in it that I didn't know until like months later.
Exactly.
Yeah. That secret is shame. If this is your very first time listening to this podcast, I want to say hello and welcome you to the Nerdiverse. Thank you, Austin, for joining me on this episode. This has been quite a ride.
Oh, man, I can't wait till we find the next podcast episode to be a part of one day.
Oh, one day we're back to normal.
Yeah, watch me fucking Warriors of Virtue or some...
Yeah, go watch Warriors of Tyr and Og, dog. Have fun with that.
Do you know Guardians of Cthulhu's on Netflix?
Really?
Yeah.
Guess I know what we're watching next. Definitely thank you for listening. And as always, I would like to ask you to look towards the skies. Look towards those skis.